Welcome to the Jonah Drake Show, hosted by Jonah Drake. The Jonah Drake Show starts now. And welcome back to the Jonah Drake Show. I'm your host, Jonah Drake, and today we've got a special episode for you as we have a co-host here trying out for the show, Gian Sonato. You can see him to the left of me. What's up, Gian?
I love that. Hey, how are you, Drake?
Yeah, thanks for coming on. If you guys think Gian does a good job and we should bring him back, make sure to like and subscribe the video. If not, just like and subscribe anyway, even if you think he does bad. We did have Gian on a few times back in our Spotify days, so some of you guys that have been following us since then do know Gian. But you want to hop right into it, Gian? So, G, you see the NFL games this weekend?
I have. I mean, not. I like it so far. I haven't seen really any huge upsets lately. Um, what do you think about them so far, really?
I mean, last week you had some big games. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. Started off with a big one on Thursday night, exactly a week ago when the Giants took down the Eagles. That was a big one for Jackson Dart.
That was that was really the only upset I've seen this
Uh,
past week. Yeah.
Steelers beat the Browns. I was at that game. Video, kind of foreseeing, guys, if you're watching the channel, keep updated
hmm
because I got a video about that game coming out maybe in about a week or so. So stay
Yeah.
tuned.
What
Um,
did you think about Dylan Gabriel being QB for that game? Really?
he looked okay. I mean, here, pulling up his stats here. He looked not good, but not
Like
horrifically
terrible.
bad. I
Yeah.
still think he's better than Shador Sanders. Um,
Ooh. Okay.
it's
Yeah.
a little bit of a hot take, but I mean, I still think he's
hmm
better than Shador. But against the let's see. Yeah, against the Steelers, he went 29 for 52 with 221 yards. He only had a completion percentage of 55.8,
Yeah.
which isn't that good, but you know.
No.
So
Yeah.
we'll get to see that. I've seen a lot of rumors that Browns fans want Kevin Stefanski fired,
Yep.
which was interesting. And
Not a huge surprise though
yeah, he
for
hasn't
me.
been doing that well. What are your thoughts on the Steelers this year? I know I've given my thoughts, but you haven't been on. So what? Just the overall season in general.
I would say they're looking pretty good so far. I mean, their defense has definitely been way better than like the start of the year, I would say. Their offense is looking decent, I'd say. I mean, I'm surprised by not Joe Burrow, sorry, excuse me. By Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's been throwing great passes. He hasn't done anything bad. He hasn't fumbled a lot. Now the offensive line, they have improvement, but they're looking good. They're overall they're pretty good so far, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the biggest improvement has been the offense. I mean, you were talking a lot
Definitely.
about that defense. The offense has been so much better than last year, as we remember.
Yeah.
Play calling still needs
And
to improve, though, a little bit.
definitely. Yep. We
You
can't because
wanna
they keep on doing their special like runs and out. Yep.
give me one? Chargers beat the Dolphins, barely squeaked by, 29-27. Chargers have been looking good this year. Dolphins really have not. Uh,
No, not Dolphins. Especially with that injury by Tyreek Hill. You
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Panthers beat the Cowboys 30-27, which is a big one as the Cowboys were still without CeeDee Lamb, but George Pickens went off for 9 receptions, 168 yards, and a touchdown, which is George Pickens been going at it. Do you think the Steelers really should have got rid of him?
Uh, I would say no for at least one more season. I feel like he was good. I mean, he definitely had some anger issues as you saw. I couldn't tell because of how he was playing. I feel like his attitude would have been bad about him being second wide receiver because the DK Metcalf came in. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
I
really
mean, if
it.
he was playing as well as he is now, I think he could have been that first wide receiver if he was still in Pittsburgh. But I think it was the right move because I mean, eventually, if it was getting as bad as it was said to be by reports, because reports was making it sound not good, as he was
Yeah.
just falling out. So if it was really that bad, I'd like to see some better. I think the trade makes sense. My
Yep.
Jaguars, if you've been watching the show, they finally lost to the Seahawks 20 to 12. Uh,
Yep.
now that makes
Got
both
rolled.
teams 4-2. Seahawks have looked surprisingly good this year. Yeah.
They have they beat our Steelers so far. I mean, pretty
Um,
good, I'd say. Their defense is improving definitely from last season.
and then
Offense too.
one of the big storylines: Ravens fall to 1-5 on the season after a 17-3 loss of the Rams. Ravens are really looking depleted without their MVP Lamar Jackson.
Yes, agreed. They are in a terrible season right now. I mean, I don't think they're gonna win more than 6 games, maybe even 5 if
Yeah.
they get lucky.
Derrick Henry really hasn't looked the same since. He
No,
not as good
he's
as he was last year. He's had fumbling problems and yeah.
it's
Uh
terrible. I mean, overall good running back, just mistakes that can't be made.
on Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Lions. Big momentum swing for the Chiefs. They needed that win, or else they would have dropped to 2-4, which really doesn't help them. That was surprising though. The Lions have looked great. They fall to 4-2. They
Hmm.
lost this week and they lost the first week to the Packers. So, do you think the Chiefs can
Yeah,
come back this year?
I think they're gonna come back. They're gonna make playoffs, but they're not gonna be number one. I think they're gonna lose like second round of playoffs. I don't think they're as high as their expectations were, but like they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
Yeah, and then finishing it off on Monday night, we had two huge wins by two teams as the Falcons beat the Bills 24-14 and the Bears beat the Commanders 25-24. What are your thoughts on those games?
So for the Falcons and what's the other team? Sorry,
Bills.
Bills. Yes, yes. Sorry, thank you. Bijan Robinson is the probably one of the biggest reasons why they won that game. I'd say. I don't. I don't think the Bills are as good. Really, I think they're not. Whenever they play a decent team, they're not as good as they look. I mean, their defense isn't good. They have Josh Allen and the running back James Cook. That's really it. Now I'm happy with the Falcons. They're looking good so far. Just it's off and on with them. And then who was the other game you said?
The Commanders took down the Bears by 1 point in the late slate, 25-24. Bears have been on a hot streak. They started off the season not that well, but now in the past, hold on, in the past 3 games, they're 3-3. I mean, they're 3-0.
Yeah, I mean they're looking good. Uh, Commanders, they're having problems. I don't know what's been up with them
I
recently. They have a
mean,
great quarterback. I just don't know what's been up.
Jaden Daniels was out for
Yeah.
a week. They did get a big win against the very good Chargers. Chargers 2 losses in
Yes.
a row. Look at them. But they are only 500 on the season. That's not what we expected them to be. And they had
Mm-mm.
an opportunity. They have an opportunity with the Eagles falling to two straight losses. They have a chance to take this
Mm.
division, but they really just haven't capitalized it. As we assume that the Giants and the Cowboys really just aren't gonna win the division.
Yeah, I don't see the Giants definitely.
Yeah,
They have a beast running back. I just don't know really.
yeah. And
All right.
you really don't see if they can dig out of that hole that Russell Wilson dug them into.
Mm-mm, I don't see it at all.
You see any games Saturday, Gian?
Saturday. Of last week, I didn't. I haven't really watched them at all. I mean, I've just been looking at scores recently. Um, I did see the one team I do root for, your Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh,
Yeah.
big firing for them. They lost to Northwestern. We'll get into that in a minute if you want to hold your benchmark
Yeah.
for that. Do you want to
Yep.
jump into
Go ahead.
the Red River rivalry for a second between Texas and Oklahoma?
I love to.
So John Mattia coming back from his surgery. So John Mattia coming back from his finger surgery did not look the same. He went only
No.
38 for 20, 202 completion yards, 0 for 0 for 3 on the touchdown to interception ratio, which really isn't that great. We'll look for him to get back as next week the
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma Sooners take on. Hold on, give me a sec. They play South Carolina, which should be able to get a get back game for John Mattia, as he has looked
Yep.
like a Heisman candidate in the first couple weeks of the season. And then they go back to the tough tests of Tennessee, followed by Alabama, followed by Missouri, and LSU to round out the season. So it'll be a really tough test for Oklahoma. Any
Yep.
thoughts?
Definitely. Um, I mean, the injuries for them haven't just been the best. I mean, he's looking like a Heisman. You're definitely right about that. I don't know how he's going to do.
For the Texas side of things, a big win for Texas. They needed that win to stay in the playoff hunt, as they are now still unranked for but they are 4-2 now, with only losses coming to Florida and Ohio State, as they have 2 down weeks. Well, 1 down week followed by a maybe, as they have Kentucky, who really hasn't played well this year, followed by a team that has performed better than their expectations in Mississippi State, and then they round out the season with 2 tough teams in Vanderbilt and Georgia. Get a little bit of a rest against Arkansas and Texas A&M. So it really does look doable, as after that Florida loss, it really didn't for the Texas Longhorns. But let's say of the, I don't know, 6 games left, they win 5 of them. That only puts them at 3 losses, and maybe they can still sneak in there.
They might. I don't know. I mean, they're a good team, just hard to tell. I mean, you said it perfect. I have nothing to really bounce off of.
If Arch plays anything like he did this weekend for the rest of the season, great. Texas is in for a great rest of the season. But if he goes back to his old ways, we'll really have to see for the Longhorns. So
Yes.
now, do you want to get into that Penn State conversation, as they suffer that huge loss to Northwestern that really crushes their season, and they fire their coach, and their quarterback
Yep.
is gone? You're a Penn State fan, so what are really the thoughts coming from like a Penn State fan? I know, because I'm an Ohio
So,
State fan, so it's great for me thinking hearing all this, but from really a Penn State fan, what's your perspective?
well, I mean, from my view as a Penn State fan, I'm very sad. I feel like not the normal team, definitely, as you can see. Drew Aller getting injured, huge. I mean, is he that good though? Not really. Not the quarterback they needed. James Franklin getting fired. It's not his fault, but like at the same time, he hasn't won against Ohio State in how many years? Like 10 years maybe, and he hasn't won a lot of games against big teams because he's just not that good. And then, well, they lost to UCLA to start off their losing streak. I
Oregon.
expected them losing against Oregon. Yep. Well, yes, they lost to Oregon, and then the UCLA is whenever it just said what team they really are. UCLA, not that good. They shouldn't have lost. Just showed it, and that game is just what made them become a not very good team. Um, I mean, they haven't. I don't know. I mean, Northwestern isn't really a football team, I thought, but they're just losing a lot of games now. So
Yeah, it'll
nothing
be
I
really
can really say
interesting.
about it so far.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if they can maybe come back and win some games, or if they're just going to take it as a down season and try to rebuild. They're already losing commits, which is
Hmm.
bad for them, which is it's different in college than the NFL. You can have a down season and really be in place for the next season because you're getting a high draft capital. But in college, if recruits are committed to you because they think you're going to win, and then you just bust a season, uh, they don't want to come play for you anymore. So you can't really do that in college, which will be interesting.
Yep.
And then I came in here prepared to get in a debate about how you guys would have been kissing James Franklin's bare butt if he would have beat Oregon, but you came in here and said it wasn't really his fault, so don't really got anything to debate about. I mean, I do think it is partially his fault. It is definitely his
Oh yeah.
fault, according to what you said. I do agree with you that it is his fault. I don't think it. I have heard some Penn State fans where they just want James. They think James Franklin is like the most evil person on planet Earth, which is not true. And he's gonna get a
Not true.
coach. His few. I mean, I saw this stat. For the next 6 years, he is getting paid $15 a minute with his buyout, which is
Oh my
absolutely
god.
crazy. You could buy a 10-piece chicken nugget for, for every minute for the next 6 years if you're James Franklin, which
Yo,
is
yep.
pretty
Yep.
crazy. So I mean, for him,
Pretty.
that's awesome. He's just a great businessman. He doesn't have to work for 6 years. He can just chill there. He can get
He.
into media, get really good at it. Or I'm sure there are teams that would love to hire James Franklin.
Oh.
My best bet is James Franklin's gonna sit back on for a year and go into media because that's I feel like what all coaches do.
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed. Couldn't have said it
James
better.
James Franklin, if you want to come be a co-host on this podcast, I mean, I'd love you to do that. So, James Franklin, if you're seeing this, the offer's always out there. so it'll be interesting to see how many more recruits they've lose because I've saw it within the first day they already lost like 5 commits, which will be interesting. So on to the other side of this. Who do you think are the top candidates for this? I've seen thrown out Matt Rule of Nebraska, Matt Campbell of Iowa State, uh, Coach Signetti of Indiana. Okay, so first off with Coach Signetti, I do not think he's gonna come here because basically the whole incentive of Coach Signetti leaving Indiana for Penn State is that he can go to a better built football team and with more resources in the Big Ten while still kind of staying in the same area. He can get some of his commits to go there, which will, I mean, it does make sense for Coach Signetti. It just, at the same time, doesn't, as for the exact reasons that make Penn State good, the money, the recruiting area, the just kind of passion of fans, they've built up at Indiana. People view Indiana as just a mediocre Big Ten school, but they've built that powerhouse. They just beat Oregon, which is pretty
Yeah.
crazy. So, and if you look, they're putting just a tad bit behind as much money behind Penn State. So it really wouldn't make sense for him to leave a job that he's already built up just to go maybe like one step up the staircase higher. I mean, if it's a 5 step up the staircase higher, take that job every day. But really it's only one step up, which I
Yep.
don't know why you would leave a program that in 1.5 years you built to the top of the top. It is the best turnaround a college program you could ever do. 2 years ago, before Coach Signetti had the job, Indiana was nobody. Now they're a national title
Yeah.
contender. But for the other
They're
guy,
great. I mean, they've been just building. They've been great recently. Just keep on building up. And what 1.5 years he's been a coach for, and he's looking great already.
yeah.
So yeah, couldn't have said it any better.
And then for the other guys, Matt Rule and Matt Campbell, I think it would be awesome for them as Iowa State has been great spot for Matt Campbell. He's built him up, but it is that Penn State is that like 5-10 step above
There you go.
Iowa State that I'm talking to, and it would make sense for him to leave because one, it's a whole nother. I guess one incentive of it is the recruiting area is one step higher because right now he's recruiting Big 12 in that area. He's competing with Iowa, and he's competing in the Big 12. But when you go to Penn State,
Yep.
you're with the best of the best, the top or the second to top conference in college football, and you got Penn State. Penn State basically rules the recruiting of Pennsylvania. There's no one competing there. I mean, you got Pitt on the eastern side of the state, but still majority Penn State, which is great for recruiting. And they got so much money into the program. And then honestly, same exact reasons for Matt Rule at Nebraska. So I'm not going to go too far into that.
Agreed.
All right, we are back with the segment that did well last week. Hot take. Let's get right into it. You know what I realized, Gian? March Madness is the only time Americans care about geography. Like, this is the one month a year where people start talking about towns they didn't even know existed 48 hours ago. Every March, we turn into part-time geography teachers. Folks who still think Kansas City is in Kansas are starting like, yo, watch out for Montana State. They've got shooters. Like, bro, you didn't even know Montana had people, let alone a basketball team. For 3 weeks, people start talking about stuff like, yeah, I like Grand Canyon in this matchup. Oh, do you? Do you like the school or the hole in the ground, my guy? For one weekend, states like Vermont and South Dakota become basketball royalty. Normally, you only hear about Vermont when it's time to buy syrup. But during March Madness, suddenly they're a grit mid-major with a senior heavy roster. And during March Madness, South Dakota? Nobody talks about South Dakota until they're up 10 on Auburn. Then it's like, man, that's a tough gym to play in. Bro, what gym? South Dakota plays in a high school auditorium. My favorite part is when people make basketball judgments based on the vibe of the places they've never been. You just can't trust teams from the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because it rains. Gonzaga can't win the big one. Too nice up there in Spokane. You've never been to Spokane. You just don't like their jerseys. And then, when it's all over, the geography degree disappears. 2 weeks later, nobody remembers where Oral Roberts is. St. Peter's goes back to being a rumor, and we all go back to thinking Fairleigh Dickerson is an insurance company. March Madness isn't just basketball, man. It's 3 weeks crash course in American geography, powered by vibes, mascots, and bracket busts. We might not learn much, but for a brief moment, we all know where Drake University is. And then we forgot again. Alright, Gian, you ready for some picks? Make your first pick. Let's see how you do.
Okay, so let's see here. We have Tennessee at Bama. So for my spread and pick, I have Bama because Tennessee is playing at Bama and they are favored to win big by not big, but by minus 9.5. Now Bama, it's risky. They haven't been doing too great, but they've been showing some great things. I mean, they have been great. It's just hard to tell. Who do you have, Jonah?
Yeah, so I am taking. Hold on. Gotta build up some momentum. Alabama coming off a win at Georgia. They're overlooking their schedule. They've got some big games. They're hoping to look at the SEC championship. Tennessee, though, they need to win this game. And Joey Aguilar needs to play great to win this game. For them if Tennessee loses this, their playoff chances are they still got a good chance to sneak in, but they will get a low seed and probably get beat in the first round. So if they can get this, they will have a great seed, and maybe they won't have to go to Ohio State again in the first round. So, Joey Aguilar balls out in not Tallahassee, Tuscaloosa. So give me UT plus 9.5, and give me Joey Aguilar to win the game and the Tennessee Volunteers. Bold prediction: Ty Simpson, 3 picks.
You're really taking a chance with that one, Jonah. But okay, let's move on. So now we have LSU at Vandy. If you didn't know Vanderbilt, but so far for my spread and pick, I have LSU. LSU, great team overall. They've been playing great so far. They have had some challenges, but I think they are going to pull it out. Vanderbilt, great team in general. Are great. They are a small football team, but I think LSU is going to pull it out. I think they're going to get 3 picks that make a change, and they're going to win a field. They're going to make a field to win it.
Yeah,
Who
so
do you
you
have,
took
Jonah?
LSU, but you are overlooking the thing. Vanderbilt is minus 2.5. So
You're not wrong.
really, everyone keeps overlooking Vandy. Everyone in the SEC keeps looking on to their bigger games. SEC championship, Georgia, Texas, but every year Vanderbilt signed somebody to knock out. And they came this close, literally this close, against Alabama, and I think that they get it done. -2.5, so give me them to win by a field goal. 23-20. Give me the double Tennessee picks here today on this podcast.
All right. So next we have Ole Miss at Georgia. So for my spread and pick, I have Georgia because they are a -7.5, and Ole Miss is at Georgia. Georgia, they all their games have been close that against good teams. Ole Miss, pretty good overall team. Now, do I think Georgia is going to pull out? Yes, I do. Jonah, who do you have?
So Georgia -7.5. That's a big spread for an SEC game. 7.5. Everyone thinks, oh, they'll win by a touchdown. Oh, but if they win by a touchdown, they still lose the bet. So I think 7.5 is a very large number. And Trinidad Chambliss, even though he's the backup quarterback in Ole Miss and he's not even gonna play, he is the best quarterback in the SEC. So give me the Ole Miss Rebels -7.5. But I do think Georgia's just that good, so give me the Dogs to win the game down in Athens, Georgia.
All right. Great pick, Jonah. I do totally agree with you. Next, we have got USC at the Fighting Irish of the Green. All right. So, of course, for my spread, I have USC. I think they have been pretty good so far. What's their record?
Oh, hold on. Give me a sec.
I think they're 5-1. I'm pretty sure. I think they're
Keep
five.
going. I'll get you in a second.
They're 5. I think they're 5-1. They've been looking pretty hot so
Yes, you
far.
are
They
correct.
keep on
They're
going.
5-1.
5-1. Okay, they have been looking pretty hot so far. Won some games, a little close, but give me the Fighting Irish of the Green.
Now, Gian, those are some good picks. Big spread. USC. Watch that. Maybe I'm thinking it's like a 7-point game. Notre Dame takes the dub over the Trojans. So yeah.
All right.
Final game. This is a big rivalry game as the holy war between the Utah Utes and the BYU Cougars.
All right. Well, this is pretty easy. I will say my spread and my pick is BYU. Now, I will say BYU is a 3.5 underdog. Do I agree with this? No. I think BYU is a better overall team than Utah. And the best part is BYU is home. So they are so I will think they are going to beat Utah. Jonah, what do you have?
Now, I agree with you totally. Now get this. I'm taking BYU -3.5. The Cougar, if you guys don't know this, for every touchdown, the Cougar does like some push-ups sometimes. I don't know what he does, but I think they do push-ups. I think the Cougar does push-ups, but if he doesn't, I don't know. That Cougar is ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever seen the BYU mascot. Get this, 38 push-ups, 38 points for the BYU Cougars to 28 for the Utah Utes. Give me BYU by 10. You want
All
to
right,
get into
Jonah.
the NFL with my Jaguars, my new favorite team other than the Steelers?
Yes. All right. So now we have got the Rams at the Jaguars.
London game,
Now,
so it's a neutral site.
oh, oh, is that the game in
Yeah,
London?
9:30 at. Sorry, guys, I didn't put that in there, but the 9:30 London game. This is Rams Jags in London. Wake up early.
But
Back
it
to
is,
Gian.
but it is technically a Jaguars home game.
Technically,
But
yes.
but now, now that I think about this, it's at a London game, so it's going to be hard. All right. For my spread, I have the Jags. They've been fighting. They've been fighting. And then, of course, they've been fighting. They've been looking great so far. Um, I don't really think Travis Hunter is as good as he came out of college, but give me the Rams. I have the Rams winning this game.
Bold idea to pick against my team, Gian. The Jaguars, if you guys don't know, are my new favorite team other than the Steelers. Someone get me a Jags jersey. I want a Brian Thomas Jr. So yeah. Uh uh the Jags suffered their first loss in a couple weeks to the Seahawks last week. I do think that they can bounce back though, as I'm not picking against the Jags until they prove that they can't. I mean, technically yes, they proved last week that they can't, but still, give me the Jags.
All right. Next up, we have Eagles at Vikings. All right. So now for this game's going to be a close one. And my spread, by the way, is the Vikings. Now, Vikings, they've been not the best lately. They lost to your Pittsburgh Steelers, but so I don't really know about the Vikings. I feel like they're a good team, but they're off. They do not have their quarterback. Um, their wide receivers are good, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I just have them as a really good team. But give me the Fly Eagles Fly taking it. I have them winning.
So I have as well have the Eagles winning, but for my spread, I disagree with you. I feel like 1.5 points is just too slim. At that point, I think you just take who's gonna win. So give me Eagles for both the spread and in my pick.
All right. Okay, next up is the Colts at the Chargers. All right. So my spread and pick is the Colts. Now let me tell you why. The Chargers are supposed to win this game by 1.5. They were negative 1.5. It is at the Chargers, and the Chargers are a pretty good team this year. They've been looking great so far. Now they have had some close games that shouldn't have been close, but yeah, I still think they're not going to be that good. Now the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, been a beast recently. Haven't seen him this good in a hot minute. So give me the Colts. Jonah, who do you have here?
So I'm basically gonna go against everything I said on the last pick. I like the Chargers, but I think that the Colts come within one, and I think this is a very, very close game. Give me the Chargers 21-20.
All right. Next up is Commanders at America's team, aka the Cowboys. All right. For my spread and of course my pick, I have the Cowboys. Do I like the Cowboys? No, but that doesn't matter because we have to be real here. I have the Cowboys winning against the Commanders. They haven't been a great team recently, and they're also playing at the Cowboys Stadium. Commanders, uh uh excuse me, their team just hasn't been the best recently. And Jaden Daniels just hasn't been throwing the ball how he used to. Bears, I'm pretty sure the Bears beat them by one. So give me the Cowboys. Jonah, who do you have on this?
Yeah, so you make some good points there. But again, the Cowboys, I haven't seen that many I haven't seen reports that CD's coming back. I mean, he's questionable, so they might be again without CD. And George Pickens has really been their only thing without CD, so it'll be really interesting to see. And I think the Commanders get it done here uh at in Dallas.
All right.
Sunday
Next
night
up.
football.
All right. Next up, who do we have here? Is it, yep, the Falcons at the 49ers. All right, Jonah, I think you will probably agree with me on this one. I have my spread and the pick as being the Falcons. You know why I got the Falcons? Because Bijan Robinson has been a beast, and I haven't seen the 49ers do anything that special that makes me think that they are going to pull through. Now, I will say the 49ers are a minus 2.5, which I think is a little crazy, but I could see why because they are at home. But give me the Falcons. Jonah, who do you have?
I don't think you could have said it any better. Give me the Falcons. One extra thing I want to point out to the 49ers should be renamed the Hospitals, the San Francisco Hospitals. If you know, you know. And for our final game, we have the Monday Night Football game, Buccaneers at Lions. Take it away, Gian.
All right, my spread and my pick, I got the Bucks. Now, I get the Lions have been a pretty good team recently, but I do not think they're going to bounce back from their losses recently. I just don't think Jared Goff is going to be able to pull through. I think that's stuck in his head. I will say, I think that is a little high for a minus 5.5, for them winning. I just think that's a little over, but I think the Bucks are going to pull through. Plus, Baker Mayfield has been a beast recently, so give me the Bucks. Who do you have, Drake?
Yeah. So I do agree with you on the spread. I think 5.5 is very, very high. 5.5 is still a ton of points. As you think about it in grand scheme of things. So, but I do think the Lions come back from that loss on Monday Night Football last week, or Sunday Night Football last week against the Chiefs, and I think they beat the Lions by 3 points. So, those are our picks. Um, let's see how Gian does. We'll have to see how Gian does in his first picking, and if he should have to come back next week or in some following weeks to see if he can do his picks. And thanks for coming on today, Gian.
All right, Jonah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, and if you guys think Gian did well, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment praising Gian. If you guys think he did bad, uh, go to his YouTube channel and give him a comment. Shout out. What's your YouTube channel, Gian?
Gian Sonato.
Yep. Go get Gian Sonato. His channel is linked in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next week. We do have some good videos coming out this week, though.
Hit that like button.
Yeah, Gene couldn't have said it better. Thanks, guys.